I mean, there are so many things. It's difficult to pinpoint. Uh, Obviously, for me as well, there's different experiences. I started as a student. I've been going to Codebar for a few years now. So yeah, as a student, definitely what I liked the most was being able to meet new people every time I went. And obviously just being able to learn so much from the coaches. They are an essential part, obviously, to this whole uh, process. And that was essential to me, obviously, being able to speak about bugs that I had and doubts that I had about codes. That just made me develop so much. So I think that probably that and meeting people was the most enjoyable part, aside from the pizza that was very good. But yeah, I think that those were the main things. First session, I do remember. I remember it was in Brighton, and so yeah, it was really good. I was a bit scared. I think I was thinking, oh, I'm going to this event. I don't know anyone. It's kind of awkward, but no, not at all. It wasn't awkward at all. The person that I think I remember the most was Anwen. She was an organizer at the time, um, in the Brighton Codebar event. And she was amazing, made me feel very comfortable. And then after that, I just ended up meeting people because we're obviously all there for a kind of thing for the same reasons. Uh, Either students or coaches, so we end up speaking between each other which languages we're uh, studying or learning. Yeah, we all have kind of common objectives, so yeah, it brings people together. So it's not as scary as I initially thought. And then yeah, from that moment onward, I always ended up going on a regular basis. Well, I learned so much. Honestly, I think Codebar was essential for my whole uh, developer experience, really. And even nowadays, as I moved into a different tech role, it's been essential because sometimes you can get stuck very easily onto like tutorials and like whenever you've got bugs. I mean, nowadays, obviously, again, you've got ChatGPT and that makes it easier to kind of um, understand bugs that you're having, but it's not the same thing. Speaking to someone is very different. Someone that has experience or day-to-day experience. Yeah, it's just a different learning process. And so, yeah, Codebar was essential. I obviously would study at home as well, and work on my projects. But yeah, whenever I got stuck, just having someone I could speak about my project and just being able to develop. Sometimes the coaches are, super nice, and a lot of the times they would just go, oh, why don't you add this feature, that and that? And so, they just give me ideas for the projects, and yeah, super, super helpful. All code bar sessions events are very inspiring for different reasons. To be fair, I didn't go to many of the like usual events around like tech and people in tech and events like that. Majority of the events I went were all just code bar sessions with coaches. So, and I honestly found that inspiring every time. And I guess that was one of the reasons why that's inspired me as well to now organize, because it's just I just think that I kind of feel that I need to give back, because the coaches, the organization in general just gave me so much, and I feel like I need to give back somehow. So so yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment as well. Absolutely. I mean, I think if it wasn't Kelbar, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. I've started as a front-end developer. That was my first role. Nowadays, I work as a tech project lead, but still codes a lot of the times. And so, yeah, the fact that I went to Codebar, it was just essential because obviously I've managed to, with the development of my projects and being able to add them to my portfolio to then send to the companies with my CV. Yeah, that was just essential, obviously, to get me hired. Obviously, as some of you might know, whenever there's an interview, a lot of the times for developer roles, you will always have to make some sort of test. So I ended up obviously doing that test that made me that I passed, obviously, and then moved to that role, which was very scary at the time. Then I realized it's not that scary. So, it's just all these ideas that we create in our heads that, I think we just need to kind of keep going and trying the best as we can to learn as much as we can. If the intention is obviously to get a role in the area, and yeah, once we get the first role, I think from then it's just it just becomes like a day-to-day, not as scary situation. Well, I think Codebar has been developing immensely, and I think that I really would like to see it going like to even more countries, I would say, than it is now. I think it's been, well, it's obviously visible in the impact report, but I think that the fact that Codebar is able to get people to learn, and not only students but coaches. I think for the coaches is also a huge experience, a learning experience, just because I guess it allows you to learn as well a lot of things, such as being able to communicate, like kind of because communicating about code is not the same thing as talking. Sometimes explaining such an abstract concept is hard. So as a coach, that is kind of also, I think, one of the learnings. And so, yeah, as a student as well, being able to learn and then get a job in this area that is in demand. I think it's probably in demand across many countries. And so being able to do so, in this case, Codebar being able to help with that across the whole globe, I think it's just amazing, and I think that's where I would like Codebar to go going forward, and I'm trying really hard as I can to help with that. JavaScript, I would say. As I said, I'm nowadays no longer coding as my main role. I moved on to the project management role, so not necessarily I'm coding all the time, even though I still do. So I think in terms of like my future in coding, I would say that probably progressing in my current area, but also I think it would be very important for me to learn more about backend languages, such as Python and other languages like that, just because I feel like it's a gap in my knowledge. Even though I understand coding in general, I think it's definitely a gap in my knowledge. And also there's so much to learn when it comes to coding. It's not like, oh, you learned it, now you work in it, and that's all you need to know. It's not really like that. So it's kind of an experience thing. So yeah, I guess like being able to learn more about other languages in backend would help me in my current role. So yeah, that's probably my aim at the moment.